Every town in America has a place people whisper about, a place where no one dares to go after dark. In the small, quiet town of Maple Hollow, Ohio, that place was an old Victorian mansion on the edge of the woods, known to locals as the house with no return. For decades, it stood abandoned, windows shattered, paint peeling, and the faint smell of decay drifting through the air. But one night in 1997, 4 teenagers decided to step inside, and only one made it out alive. The story begins with Rachel Miller, a 17-year-old high school senior. She and her friends, Tyler, Jenna, and Cody, had always been drawn to the house. Local legends said anyone who entered would vanish before sunrise. But like every teenager, they thought it was just a story until curiosity turned into a deadly mistake. On Halloween night, they drove up the old gravel road, headlights slicing through the thick fog. The house loomed ahead, dark and silent, except for a single window light that flickered, then went out. Inside, the air was colder than outside. Every step they took echoed through the empty halls. Old portraits stared from the walls, their eyes almost alive. The wallpaper was torn, the furniture draped in dusty white sheets, and the smell of damp wood filled the air. Then Rachel heard it, a whisper. It wasn't the wind. It was a voice, faint, calling her name from upstairs. The others heard it too. But when they checked the second floor, the door to the master bedroom slammed shut behind them, locking them inside. Jenna screamed. Tyler tried to force the door open, but something on the other side pushed back. The temperature dropped suddenly. Their breath turned visible. From the corner of the room, an old rocking chair began to move on its own, slow, rhythmic creaks echoing through the dark. Then they saw it, a shadowy figure standing near the window, wearing a tattered dress, face hidden behind long, black hair. It whispered again, "You shouldn't be here." And before they could move, the window shattered, glass flying across the room, and the lights went out completely. When the power flickered back, Jenna was gone. Her phone lay on the floor, still recording. The screen showed her running toward the hallway, and then static. They tried calling out, but no answer came, only a child's giggle echoing through the walls. The 3 remaining friends stumbled downstairs, searching for a way out, but every door they tried led back to the same hallway. The house was shifting, changing shape, trapping them like a maze. Tyler began panicking, shouting that the house was alive. In the dining room, an old clock started ticking, though it hadn't worked for decades. The hands spun backward fast, and the walls began bleeding a thick, black liquid. Cody screamed as something grabbed his ankle from under the table, a pale, skeletal hand dragging him into the floor. He disappeared before Rachel could reach him. She and Tyler ran toward the front door, and this time it opened. They bolted outside into the rain, but when they turned around, the house was gone. Nothing but an empty field remained. Rachel and Tyler made it to the police station, soaked and trembling. Officers drove to the property that same night, but found the house exactly where it had always been. No sign of a field, no missing structure, no evidence of what they described. The next morning, Tyler was found dead in his room, eyes wide open, mouth frozen in a silent scream. Rachel was taken into psychiatric care, repeating the same words over and over. "The house lets you leave, but it doesn't let you go." 2 decades later, in 2019, a paranormal investigation team entered the same house to film a documentary. They found strange things, EVP recordings of whispers matching Rachel's voice, Cody's name carved into the wall, fresh despite decades of dust, and a phone covered in cobwebs, still recording, still showing Jenna's last terrified face. The footage never aired. The team vanished 3 days later, leaving only their van parked outside the property. Today, the mansion still stands in Maple Hollow. Locals say if you drive by at midnight, you'll see a faint light flickering in the upstairs window, and hear a voice whisper your name. They call it the house with no return, because once it calls you in, you never truly leave.